Well, guys, it doesn't get any better or bigger than this. I think there's been a lot of big games here, and who'd ever think that a game would overshadow your rivalry game? And not that it overshadows, but it's definitely a big, big game, and it's kind of ironic that it's going to be played against not only a great team, but a great coach who's a good friend and a guy that helped build it here. So there's so many storylines for this game that you could run out of them. But to have two teams in the top 10 playing here is going to be incredible. I finally got my right week straightened out, and to have the media celebrities that'll be here, the interest in the game. I think we are starting to do a better job defensively in rebounding the ball. We have been scoring a little bit more too, and that usually goes with good defense if you get turnovers. But Indiana's playing at a level like no other. I think they've sustained it the whole year, which to me is one of the most impressive things you can do. It's something to be good, but it's really something to be good and be able to sustain it over a period of time. And they've done as good a job of that as anybody. They're near the top in just about every category. They are very balanced, although that's one advantage we've had lately is, we finally have 5 guys averaging in double figures now in the Big Ten, and that's very impressive. Oladipo, to me, I think there's some good players in this league, and I think there's some better offensive players than him. There might even be a better defensive player than him, but I don't think there's a better combination than him. When you look at he's leading their team in field goal percentage, and he's leading it in steals, and that kind of tells you the bottom line about Victor Oladipo. He's got the highest motor I've seen in years. He's got the ability to guard 1 through 4. He's improved his jump shot so much. Even his three-point shot, he's better at putting the ball on the floor. There's a reason why if he didn't get on that Wooden Award thing, somebody was insane. So there's a reason why he's jumped onto that, because he's earned it. Zeller, I think, is playing better than we played him. You look at the last 5 or 6 games, we were the last team to hold him in single digits. I think they're going to him a little more. I think he's been more aggressive. But nobody can match what Watford and Sheehy have done. I mean, Watford's shooting 55% from the 3 in the last 5-6 games. He's on the same terror that Hardaway was on. Sheehy is just, he's up for everybody's 6th Man of the Year award, and deservingly so. So their depth is really good, and Yogi's playing and shooting better. So I don't know one guy that's not playing better from the last time we played him. At the same time, I think we're playing better than the last time we played him. So that should lead for as good a game as it can be. You always hope the games are as good as the billing. This has a chance to be, but we will need everything we can do, plus the crowd that has been so incredible this year, to be at its best, and maybe we can sneak magic into a uniform if things don't go perfectly well. So looking forward to it, excited about it. I think our players are, and this is what college basketball to me is all about. Questions?
Tom, can you take any level of satisfaction that this team is competing for a Big Ten title late in the year? You're number 4 in the AP poll, in a year that was expected to be, kind of a good rebuilding year.
Well, I will admit I am surprised. I was going through it today, and I think we've already played 5 or 6, or probably 7 or 8, 9 teams that have been ranked in the top 10. When you talk about Miami and Kansas, but I think we have played after this one like 6 games that have been ranked in the top 10 in the Big Ten alone. So we're playing a heck of a schedule, and I think our RPI was 5th going in here, and yet I didn't foresee all this coming. I'm not going to lie to you. I said it all along that in some ways this team has exceeded, but some of it is because I didn't know where Dawson would be. I didn't know some of the things. I still think he's a ways away from where he needs to be, but I think some guys have made some serious improvements. Payne has made serious improvements. Nix has made improvements. Appling's made improvements. Harris was better than the billing. Valentine has definitely been a very instrumental part, and Dawson has been still pretty good considering what he's gone through. So I always said the pieces were there as we get the puzzle put together. We are getting better defensively. The last 2 games, we've rebounded the ball very well. Still don't think we're in the area both defense and rebounding that Michigan State's normally in, but I think we're making strides at the right time. But this is the blunt of our schedule, and we've all said it. We had 2 different parts of our schedule that are going to be very difficult. I think we went 4-1 the last part. That was very difficult, and now we'll see what we do now.
Tom, you guys, during your program's tenure, have played number 1 teams a number of times. What is that atmosphere like in a locker room when you go up against the number 1 team, and how do you kind of rein in emotions or let them loose in that?
Yeah, if there's one thing that I still question about this team, I think a lot of people are questioning it about their teams this day and age. My Twitter era, where people don't communicate as well, is, I've had some teams, if it was Draymond, if it was Travis, if it was Mateen, Mateen called today. Mateen thinks he's playing tomorrow. They're just bouncing off the walls. This team's excited, but it's not the same, it's just not the same kind of personalities, which probably is good because I'm bouncing off the walls. So maybe there's some balance to the whole thing. But there is, we've talked about they all count one. We've talked about, sometimes a tough loss is worse for your team than a big win, and is more detrimental to your team. But what I'm going to preach to my guys, and I did yesterday, today, and tomorrow, is these are opportunities that 99% of America never gets to be a part of. I mean, I don't know what you say we're 4th. I mean, if that even changes it. I mean, how many times do 2 top 5 teams get to play on somebody's campus? Maybe in the NC tournament, but on somebody's campus. Doesn't happen very often. The last time we had a number 1 team here, were we even ranked when we played Wisconsin? We weren't. So, I mean, it just doesn't happen very often. When does your most famous and cherished alum come back and having magic in the building? I mean, this crowd, I will be honest, I said the last couple of years, I thought we were, dipping a little bit. We have not only raised it, but I think we've raised it a level. And so you put all those things together, and these guys get a chance to do something few get to do. And if you get beat, it better be because the other team was better, or you just didn't shoot the ball well. If there's any effort-related reasons you got beat, shame on you.
Just wondering about Dawson. I know tweaked his ankle a little bit. Is he okay? And is Trice definitely out for this game?
Well, Dawson, it wasn't the ankle I was worried about. I mean, the last game, I was a little concerned about his head. He just wasn't with it. He even said it once on the bench. He was frustrated with himself. But the ankle's fine. But we need him at a high level. Trice practiced 10 minutes last night, just in the layups and that. And they're going to do some more testing today. I feel bad, but I'm almost tired of talking about it because I have no answers for you. I have no, it's wake up in one morning and headaches are gone and you get to play, I guess. It's a frustrating thing, I think, for me, for our doctors, probably for our fans, but probably most for him. And, until we can get him back, it makes it harder on us in a lot of reasons. Trust me on that. So Dawson will be fine. Trice will be, if he does, we were hoping to get him back Saturday, get his feet wet in the game again. But now what is this, 5th or 6th game he's going to miss? And a lot of practice time in there, and he hasn't been able to do nothing, as you know, except maybe shoot the ball and shoot some layups. So I'd say, what do they say in football? Very doubtful, but possible, depending on today, when he wakes up tomorrow.
All the big games you've played here, you look at the Big Ten standings today, you have 5 left, and your next 4 are against the other top 4. In your 300 years here, do you ever remember that happening?
No, in fact, I even asked Judd because he had 200 years before that, and so in a long time. I mean, it's never even been anything close, you know, not even been close. And I don't think anybody that's been around anything in this league can remember it being this many teams or having a schedule like we've had, you know, because I mean, it just happened that this year we get all those top teams twice, so you're gonna play them all the time. I mean, you talk about this is a gauntlet. We just had one. You had some at the beginning. There's never gonna be a break because you're playing all those teams, and you had Minnesota and Illinois in there. You had Minnesota for sure in there, and that means you're playing the top 5 teams twice, and so you're going to have a lot of these. And you know, what kind of tolls are going to take on us? How do we respond? It's going to be interesting to see. It'll be. Then one nice thing about it is the rest of my coaching career, I'll always have a base to look back on, because it can't get better than this, especially when you only play some teams twice. It could never get harder. So in some ways that'll be good for me.
Tom, I know you don't like to play your friends, but Tom was here to help you build this thing in the beginning, and he's certainly done a really good job turning that program around. As close as you guys are and as tough at times as he's been through for him, part of you happy for him with the way things have gone for him at Indiana?
I'm ecstatic for him, you know. Let me tell you something. If you got to play, I mean, I don't want to compare it because it's not comparable, but if I had to play somebody else in this league and we're both playing for the championship, it'd be like the 2 brothers playing for the Super Bowl, you know. I don't like doing it. They didn't like doing it. But I thought John Harbaugh had a great line, you know. The only thing that could be worse than this is one of us didn't make it. And it's kind of true. I know what he's gone through. We've talked about it a lot in the first couple of years, but, you know, it's just farther longer ago to remember it. But we went through some things here too, you know, not quite as bad as what he went through, but we still went through some things. So he's done a great job, just like he did at Marquette, of building it. I'm proud and happy to say that I think he's used a lot of the things we did here. But I'm only happy to say it because he helped me do it here. So it wasn't like I did them, we did them. And consequently, you know, his team has been the same way. You know, they like to run. They're at the top of the stats in a lot of categories that are important. And, you know, and he's got a special guy, you know. He's got his own Cleaves in Oladipo, you know. He's a guy that just, winning is the most important thing to him. And I think that branches out to the rest of their guys. And so if you really take a look, you know, when he had Wade at Marquette, when he, you know, that's what we do in these programs. When you get certain players that can lift up the whole program, you ride them like a horse in the Kentucky Derby, you know, and that's what he's doing, and that's what we've done.